Well, let's talk about food, Faces of Hunger, this film festival, because I have to say, by
Yes,
way of a disclaimer, Mayan, that I am a consultant slash producer on the festival this year,
correct.
and so
Mhm.
helping in any way I can. So we people need to know that this is a very subjective interview. I'm not trying to be mislead in any way, but I have definitely, you know, have a
Vested interest.
vested interest in it. And so is this like, yeah, so bringing you on, but I'm glad to do it because, certainly it's a festival that I think, regardless, I would be glad to know about and glad to help promote, even if I wasn't.
Yeah, thanks. It really all started with my mom. And my mom is like so amazing.
Yeah, I'm getting
She's just
that.
a person who really, really doesn't see any limits to achieving her goals.
Right.
Has been relentlessly fighting for people and food, poverty for her whole life. And
Wow.
um, and I do think she enjoys it in the same way that we enjoy having pizza or something. It's so enjoyable for her. That's
You're
probably why she
meaning
does it
that,
so
yeah,
well.
and that almost suggests she takes a little bit of what she's doing for granted. Like it's just like getting a slice of pizza in the sense that,
Yeah, I mean, I
it's so
think she
incorporated
doesn't.
into who she is that,
Yeah, it is so incorporated into who
yeah,
she is that I don't think she has a choice in the matter.
right. So
She
let's
doesn't have a
start.
choice in the matter. So, yeah.
So just for the audience, let's go back a step and say that this festival, which is going into its fifth incarnation, and it's a virtual festival this year again, was started from as an offshoot of your mother, this nonprofit called Palms of Life, which your mom started. But the
Palms for
best
life, yes.
Palms for Life, excuse me, and then and out of that came this festival.
Mm-hmm.
Was this your brainstorm? Was this your idea?
Not at all. It was what interested me most to work in the nonprofit
Okay,
because I'm an actress and a filmmaker,
yeah,
and so it was a natural fit for me to take a big part in this. But no, even the idea was, and the way what it's developed into is definitely completely in my hands. Um, but the original idea of basically using film as a way to promote discussion and education about food issues was Hannah. So the idea of using art and creativity.
which is smart because that's for a lot of people, it's an emotional conduit into a subject. Right? You watch a film, you become emotionally affected by it, and then you become interested. Just it makes sense, and
Yeah,
people
I
are
do. And
very,
I
very
think because yeah, and I think there's such a, like we've become so not blunt, but we're so like, oh, hunger, oh yeah, it exists. Like we're not really responsive to it. Like it's
numb.
so
Yeah,
abstract. Yeah,
right.
we're so numb to it. Same
Yeah,
as when we see those images of the hospital, St. Jude or something. Like
yeah.
they have to really put it in your face for you to be like, oh my God,
Or the
there is suffering in the
starving
world.
animals.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there is suffering in the world, and wow, I'm impacted by it.
Mhm.
So I think that it's true that film does that.
Right. With visual is very strong language. Yeah. Just so people understand, so while it started as a way of for like a relationship between universities, uh, to the universities were part in a way partnering. Well, anyway, they would host screenings and then conversations and discussions and
Yeah, they would
regarding
host screenings in their local campus. Yeah.
right. So that's it. But it is also available, this festival, which is shorts so far, where short films, short documentary films about on the subject of food or food insecurity or hunger. Those are kind of the general subject matter.
And waste and health and
Right.
and
But
also
most
it's
anybody
very
can
hard
go
to
and see the films.
yeah and it's hard to it's definitely hard to separate food from all the other what we call like the systemic issues. So how is it impacting the environment, how is the waste involved, because obviously if we were to reduce the waste there would be so much more food available.
Yeah.
So it's very hard to tease those things apart. So even though it began originally the festival really with the intent to focus on hunger, right now the name is more of a stand, like it's a brand name. It's really more just about food issues. And yes, it is open to anyone who wants to freely engage in meaningful showings and meaningful panel discussions as well, which will happen after the films.
So so people can go to
facesofhunger.org,
and they can register for the festival. They can sign up for the festival, and then there will be panels, and there will be also Q&As and all sorts of opportunities between October 15th and 19th. I'm going to really urge people to get involved, because it's and what I think if it's I think it's a kind of a social obligation for people to figure out one thing to commit to, if you're a privileged individual who has the time to even go to a festival, to get involved in maybe one thing that is helps each other, and helps people in need. So this is a good way to sort of kind of educate yourself and engage and meet people. And so I think it's a great opportunity, is what I'm trying to get.
Yeah, I do want to mention also something that I'm really excited about for this year is that we have, there's this wonderful program from the World Food Program called Storytellers, where they equip people in developing countries with smartphones.
Unbelievable.
And they can document their experience and the benefits that they also receive from the World Food Program. And so they equip them with the cell phones, and they teach them how to film and how to take photos. And all of this is really first time for many of these people. And there's some beautiful films, and we're very happy to be able to include them in the festival this year.
So they're going to be blocks of shorts. I mean, this is not unusual for most film festivals that show shorts or include shorts in their program, but that there'll be blocks of shorts, and then we'll be including one of the films you just mentioned, one of the short films that you just mentioned.
Yeah. Some storyteller film is going to be included in each block, which I think will be a big treat to see.
Followed by a panel with various people from stakeholders, I guess you call them.
Yeah, like people in the food industry, professors, and the filmmakers. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a great idea, and I'm excited to participate in it. I really am, because I like it that it's it's still kind of growing, and there's so much possibility.
There's so much potential. There's so much potential.
I agree with that.
Really, because it's as we've said for years, because we all eat. It's something that is so common to us all.
Yeah.
Something we can relate to, something that we're all responsible for, and that we all take part in, and that impacts us all, and that our behavior impacts it globally. And there's not so many things that are so easy to see like that.
Right, right. And the films are really almost as much as a work of storytelling. they are also a catalyst for conversations, for discussions. I mean,
Very much so.
So I think the panels where, are going to be really kind of key in this particular festival, I mean, because really what we're trying to do is teach each other, engage with each other. And the films kind of do a great job of kind of provoking those conversations.
Thank you, Adam.
Yeah,
I agree.
You're welcome.
Yeah, they very much do. My goodness, there's so many fantastic films. The festival started as a US only for food issues in the US, and now it's expanded to be global.
Makes sense.
It's still growing, in that it completely makes sense. And it's still
toddler.
growing.
The festival's barely a toddler.
Yeah. But we have some wonderful films. One of my favorites is Nourishing Japan, just Nourishing Japan, which shows how incredibly different and sacredly the food is introduced to in the school system.
That's
in
amazing.
Japan, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Another one of my favorites is called Green Gold, which talks about, which I didn't know about, is the incredible how resource heavy the avocado industry is, and its impact on the people who live where there are avocado trees being grown. So, because the avocados take up so much water and so much water. And so all the plants basically take out the water from the land, and then people have water issues. Amazing insight into, those are, I think, are on the one hand is learning how we could, for example, in Nourishing Japan, how we could also introduce more of a respectful cultural inheritance into the school system in relationship to food. The Japanese, they eat so well. And then with the Green Gold, it's like avocado. We're all crazy about avocado. It's such a trendy food item. And to learn about its implications, it actually gives me now second thought in buying as many avocados as I want. It does, Adam, I promise.
I believe you, everything you say. Everything.
I'm holding back on avocados a little bit.
What do you substitute? What can you
figure it out? Blueberries. Yeah, nothing is as amazing as an avocado for sure.
Well,
you live.
Yeah. What?
You live. You make it work.
Yeah. Quite a
Hunger
few.
Ward is an exciting film that we're showing.
Yeah.
It's it was an Oscar nominated documentary, and the director may very well attend the panel. It's almost confirmed, but we would be very lucky to have him. He'll be in the closing event on the 19th, which is going to be a whole block about hunger and food issues, around hunger. It's going to be led by the Universities Fighting World Hunger, which is our partner organization for the festival, which is a terrific organization. If by any chance anyone listening to this is associated with an educational institution, you could start your own Universities Fighting World Hunger chapter to become involved in this conversation. That they have all these events throughout the year. Universities Fighting World Hunger, and Faces of Hunger is one of them that they promote, and we partner with them. So they're going to be leading that last event about hunger, and that film Hunger Ward, which is something that I think it's almost like a responsibility to watch it.
Again, the festival's called Faces of Hunger, and it will be running from October 15th through the 19th. World Food Day is on which day? October 15th?
October 16th, which is a Saturday. And the screenings for the weekend are like noon Eastern time. Yes. And it's all on Eventive, which is a virtual festival platform.
If you had your
block,
If you had your preferences or your druthers, would you want to do an in-person festival again? Like, because
Well, with a I would like to do a hybrid. So I would like to keep it the way it is, where it's
makes sense, right?
accessible.
Yeah,
Yeah, because it's such a global topic. So I would like to keep
yeah,
it like this, but have like one key event in New
right.
York City. That's what I would like.
Yeah.
So I'm
Or
gonna work on that for next year. Well, I'm in New York, so
yeah. Or maybe we can get even more ambitious and you could have like one event, like multiple events happening simultaneously. That's maybe in the future.
absolutely.
You
I
know,
will start with one. We're going back
just
to one physical one next
one.
year. Although
Yeah.
some universities, if they choose, may rent out a room where they're going to have the screenings in person.
Again, there's so many ideas and so many things we can do going into the next festival next year or the years ahead. You know.
Yes, there's only one way to go.
Yeah. So
Up.
again, if you right up. So if you're a filmmaker, also just please check out the festival this year, because if it motivates you to create a documentary that we may next year might be using, and I hope that we can go feature length, just it
Yeah,
makes sense, or maybe just even if you have one or two.
we may. There are so many fantastic feature films that we came across that we passed up. So yeah, we may very well become a feature.
Right. And
Include
it
feature
doesn't,
films
it
next year.
maybe, I'm getting a little far field. I might edit some of this, of course, but that you can, maybe we just show them and then have like afterwards a Q&A, but that might be it. Maybe this isn't one that has a terribly long whole evening.
Yeah.
But the idea is to kind of pump up the excitement, enthusiasm around the festival. So if you get some really great features in there, but then the shorts act as the catalyst for like panels and for
That's a great idea.
Okay, so this is okay. As we wind it down, this is we're going now on October 15th through the 19th into the 5th annual Faces of Hunger Film Festival. And again, we'll encourage people to check out this festival. Go to facesofhunger.org and get involved and get in on the ground floor of this great festival. And even individuals partner with this festival.
Thank you, Adam.
And let's get everybody. Let's stop wasting food and let's stop letting people be hungry.
Yeah, let's stop wasting food. Let's eat more healthily. Let's be responsible global citizens. Let's understand the impact of our eating habits and choices on ourselves and on the world. Like respecting ourselves and respecting the world.
Couldn't have said it better.
Thanks.
Thank you.